Wow, quiet.
It wasn't a minute ago.
I guess I missed it. I missed the whole schmooze. All right.
Yaakov, did you decide? By the way, I have a friend of mine got off a flight today in Newark, and they made him fill out a form of where he's quarantining.
Yeah. To me, it's more of I'm not so much of a legal issue as partially the responsibility issue.
What do you mean?
I'm saying if you go to some place that has a lot of COVID and you bring it back here, Chas v'shalom. I mean, but okay, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to go or not. But,
what are the halachas of straw hats? We're discussing this.
What are the halachas of straw hats?
What does that mean, Simon?
Well, Jesse Loeleno has a black straw hat that looks like something you picked up at Party City.
Loeleno.
I didn't know they had Party Cities down by you.
Here it's called Halloween Town or something. I don't know.
All right, I came late, so we'll have to do this session tomorrow. Yeah. All right, the chazah from yesterday. Yeah. So the machlokes wife Ahib Sarah Ha'aron is special. Requirement to save the margins of svarim. Saving a svarim from apikorsim, burning svarim from apikorsim. Then we said that Rav didn't go to the apikoris conventions. And then the story with the judge who was known to be honest, and they slugged him up that he was taking bribery all the time. And then why and when ksubim are allowed to be read. I think that's where we left off, right? Yeah. Also, now just to finish off the discussion last night, so it comes out according to Tosfos that there's no reading. You're not allowed to read any books or anything like that on Shabbos. The justification that the Pais can bring down for that is that if you don't have the ability to learn or say Tillim, etc., all Shabbos, and all you're going to do is sit on Shabbos and scream and yell at your wife, kids, whoever gets on your nerves, and you're not going to be doing anything anyway. So then the Magen Avram says in Shin Aleph, not here, the Magen Avram says that if it's something that you enjoy on Shabbos, then you're allowed to rely on that. So if it's something that you enjoy,
I mean, like, so you said like screaming at the family, but like you want to take a 6-hour nap.
I mean, what's better, a 6-hour nap or reading a paper?
No, I'm saying a 6-hour nap considered like that's on the same level as yelling at your kids and your wife?
It depends. Are you going to learn instead? If you're not,
what if you enjoy yelling at your wife?
That, yes, it's better to sleep. 100%. If you're not going to learn, it's better to sleep. 100%. Yeah. But again, in the B'shas Chak situation, it's a long Shabbos afternoon for girls or anybody that can't otherwise occupy themselves, so then they can't do it. Whatever, they can rely on the Magen Avram. Right? But again, we don't paskin like the Magen Avram. Everybody disagrees with this Magen Avram. All right, so let's see the Zok the Mishna, yeah? So Matzilin Tik HaSefer and HaSefer. Not only are you allowed to save the Svarim, you're also allowed to save the bag of Svarim. Take a tefillin and tefillin, you could save the tefillin with the tefillin bag with the tefillin. Even though there's actually money in it. And where can you save them to? The mavui, she'eino mefulish. You're allowed to save it to a mavui that's not open. The mavui she'eino mefulish. To a mavui that's not, thank you. The mavui that's not mefulish. But right, so that we're going to see in the Gemara exactly how you define mefulish and not mefulish, meaning whether it's fully open into Rosh Hashanah or not fully open to Rosh Hashanah. Okay, so talk the Gemara. Now the Gemara goes through this whole tangent here, only because we want to prove from our Mishnah this machlokes when Shabbos falls out on Pesach, right, which it did the last 2 years, right? So Shabbos fell out on Yudalit fell out on
Shabbos is on Motzei. Shabbos is on.
This is Erev Pesach. This is Erev, right? Right. Thank you. This is Erev Pesach Shabbos. That's this coming year, I think. I think it's this coming year. Yeah. So when it comes out on Erev Pesach, when Erev Pesach comes out on Shabbos, so you can only do the bare minimum of malacha that you need to do for the Korban Pesach. You can't just do whatever you want. So the question is, how much of the animal can you cut open? Right. Meaning you only have to cut open certain amounts to be makriv. And the rest you could just leave because you're not eating it till Motzei Shabbos, right? So that's a machlokes, and then we're going to try and prove from our Mishnah about carrying the bag with money, which way we go. So Torah Arba Osir Shechali Yos B'Shabbos. So you Dalit, right? The 14th of Nisan. Erev Pesach falls on Shabbos. Mashitin es a Pesach ad Chazah. You're only allowed to cut up the Korban Pesach until the shoulder, right? Because that's all you're going to need. That's all you're going to need in order to make it to make the carbon kosher, right? I mean, you got to take out the amur and all the fats. That's enough till the chazah, and then for the rest you don't need to do. Rav Chacham say no, you can do the whole. You can cut up the whole animal. So Bishlam Rabbi Yishmael ben Noshir Yochanan ben Broika plus Avid late side of Kavaya. So according to Rabbi Yishmael, the son of Rabbi Yochanan ben Broika, it's already done. The reason why you're only allowed to cut up to the shoulders because you did what you needed to do. That's Daicha Shabbos, and now that's it, right? Elul Rabbanan, in my time, what did Rabbanan say? You could cut up the whole animal like regular for. Everything that Hashem did was for Himself, meaning everything that's in this world is for Hashem. What is cutting up the rest of the animal have to do with Hashem? Rabbi Yosef Amar Shalei Yasriach. Rabbi Yosef says because if you don't cut it up, it's going to get decayed. If it sits inside the skin of the animal, the meat's going to get decayed and start smelling. It's going to be terrible. Rabbi says, no, we're not worried about it decaying. We're just worried about you have kache shemayim. It's kaddish, and it's going to be sitting there, like a nevela, as if like nobody's doing anything with it. So it's not embarrassing, but it's a bizayon. So therefore, it's not you don't do it. So that's two reasons why you would be allowed to continue cutting it up, and why that's a covered for the Rabban Shem. My benayu, you can the manach absura dedava. The difference between these two terutzim, if it's put on a gold plate. So if it's put on a gold plate, that doesn't show a lack of respect. That's not a bizayon, but it still will decay. Or it's a day that you have the west wind. So the way the west wind, if it's a west wind, the animal's not going to decay. So according to that reason, it doesn't decay. It's going to be no problem, right? But it's still going to be laying there like a nevela, so it's still a bizayon. Okay, Rabbi Shmuel ben Yochanan hi Paul Hashem lamaneu my avidlei. What is he going to do with this pasuk of whatever Hashem did is for him? Now I don't understand. There must be millions of times he can talk about where I don't know millions, but hundreds of times where he could talk about things that we do for Hashem. So why does he have to specifically have an answer here for the Korban Pesach? I don't know. Right? So what does he do with it? He says you should not take out the fats from the animal before you cut up the skin. My time. Because the little hairs, meaning if you don't take off all the hair and the skin from the animal before you take out the fats, then on the way out the fats are going to get full of hair, and that's disgusting, right? Anybody who ever had to eat a chicken that was not plucked properly. Right, so the same thing. The Rebbeinu Shem with the karbanos, we don't want to put meat with hair on it and put it onto mizbeach. Right? Okay. So Amar Rav Chisda Amar Marukah. My ahadulei chavrei Rav Yishmael ben Noshir Yochanan ben Broika. This is how we get to this whole sugya. Right? What did they say? What did they answer to Rav Yishmael ben Noshir Yochanan ben Broika? Hachi karmelei imatzilin tikka sefer imasefer. Right? So they're saying if you're allowed to save the sefer, the bag of the svarim with the sefer, like nafshed as a pesach meyorei, should we not be allowed to cut the Korban Pesach out? Should we not be able to totally cut up the animal? Meaning, just like you're allowed to take the bag and carry out the bag through, even though you really only are supposed to carry out the sefer. So the same thing here. You can cut up the whole animal because you need the emurim to come out. So Gemara says, "Midami hasam tiltul hacham malacha." There's two different isurim here. There, the issue by the sefer, saving the sefer in the bag, is just a muktza issue. It's a derabbanan. Here, it's a malacha mamish to cut up the animal for no reason when you already took out the fats. So then that's mamish a malacha. Some of Ashi betarti pligi. They're arguing twice. Pligi betiltul or pligi malacha. They're arguing by muktza and they're arguing by malacha. This is what they said. If you're taking the bag of svarim, the sefer with the bag, you shouldn't be able to carry the skin together with the meats, right? Just again the same way you're allowed to carry a svarim bag with the sefer, so you should be able to carry all the skin together with the fat. So the Gemara answers, Midami hasam nasa basas l'davar hamutar. There, the bag is a base, right? We're going to come across this again in another couple of blot. But it's a base, right? There's something by muktza called a basis. The classic example is, are you allowed to move a table when it has candlesticks on it? Right? So candlesticks are muktza. If the candlesticks are resting straight on the table, then you're not allowed to move the table because it's considered a base. A basis is a base for the candlesticks, and it takes on the status of the candlesticks. Right? So here the bag becomes a basis l'davar mutter. So if it's something that's mutter, then you're allowed to move the table, right? If you have a bottle of soda on the table, so you're allowed to move the table, even though it's a basis, which is a basis for something that you're allowed to move. It's only a problem with candlesticks. Here, by meat, it's a basis l'davar asur, right? Because the asur is muktza, because you can't eat it anyways till after Shabbos. So it's muktza, so then the skin should also be muktza. So that can't be the comparison. This is what they said. If you're allowed to save the sefer together with the bag, even though there's money in the bag, are we not going to take the skin because of the basar? Then they're going to ask on that too. By the svarim bag, right? It's holding the sefer, which is mutter, and is it too noisy, parents? Okay, there, it's a basis something to the svarim which is mutter, and the money which is asur. Here, the skin is muktza totally for something else. So can you tell them to stop screaming, please? Whoever's in the hall is screaming. Ella. Yeah, stop screaming. Ella hachi karmelei. Ella hachi karmelei. In mavui ticks sheyesh b'saychay mois me'alma lahatzel by sefer Torah loy netatal or agav basar v'hi. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Ella hachi karmelei. This is what he's saying. Right now we're back to square one. In mavui ticks sheyesh b'saychay mois me'alma lahatzel by sefer Torah loy netatal. Right? Are we not going to take it? Right? Meaning, if let's say you're going to get a bag, right? You're going to get a bag of to save the svarim, right? So aren't you save it line the taltal? Are you not going to take it? Of course you're going to take it, right? Meaning you need a bag to put the svarim into. It's a fire. You're taking a bag to save the svarim, correct? So you're gonna, and there's money in it. Are you not going to take the bag with the money? Right? I'm sorry. I read it wrong. And back up a second. If you're going to bring a bag that has money in it, to save a sefer Torah, which you're going to do, right? Are you not going to take the skin because of the basar? Right? Of course you're going to. So and how do you know? Meaning, how do you know that you're allowed to take a bag with money in it? If you're going to say that the reason you know you're going to be able to take the bag with the money is because if they had money on it in it, the bag, right? Let's say the bag had money on it in it, you don't have to throw it away, right? Before you put the svarim into the bag, you don't have to throw out the money. So you're allowed to. So therefore, you're allowed to bring it with money in it. Yeah, so therefore, since you're allowed to bring a bag with money in it, so therefore you should be able to take the meat together with the skin. So the Gemara says, "Midami hasam adahachi v'achi nafla lafla leika." And meanwhile, meaning with the bag with the money, if you stop to let the money go out of the bag, there's a fire that's going to be going on here. You don't have time. Right? Yeah. So here, meaning that if you're going to stop to take out the money from the bag, the thing is gonna burn down. But here, but if you have the money in the bag and you're going to bring the bag to put the svarim into, so as you're running towards the fire, spill out the money from the bag, right? So you can't compare that. We're gonna say back the way it was in the first place, right? And it's just it has nothing to do with muktza. It's just a machlokes whether you're allowed to cut up the rest of the animal. The kasha lachacha tilt of malacha. No, you had a kasha. One is talking about muktza. One is talking about malacha. You're going to like kavai leila or you don't need it for the skin. Meaning, when you're cutting up the animal, you're cutting up not because you want the skin, you're just cutting it up. You're going to throw out the skin in the garbage. So therefore, what is that? It's davar she'eino mischaven. That's what Rashi says. You're trying to get to the meat. You're not trying to get to you're not trying to get the skin, right? So therefore, it's a davar she'eino mischaven. Now that's a big chiddush in exactly what davar she'eino mischaven is. Because what do you mean? Here, what's normally davar she'eino mischaven? You drag a bench because you need the bench, and you're going to make a hole in the ground, right? That's your normal davar she'eino mischaven. Here we're saying no. Davar she'eino mischaven is that you're cutting it not because you want the skin, not because you want the leather, but because you need to get to the meat. That's not davar she'eino mischaven. Okay, but that's what the Gemara is saying. So that there's a lot to learn out from that, right? Oh, but the problem is, even if you say it's a davar she'eino mischaven, but isn't it a psik reisha? Right? Meaning, we're saying that the reason why it's d'Rabbanon is because you don't want the leather. You just want the meat. So you're cutting up the leather, you're not interested in the leather. Right? So then what do you mean? But it's a psik reisha. Right? Again, Reb Shimon is the one that says that if you do davar she'eino mischaven, it's not a problem. Right? But we said that's only if the eino mischaven, what you don't want, is not going to definitely happen. But if it's going to definitely happen, psik reisha, right? You're killing the chicken and you want it as a toy, but it's automatically going to kill the chicken, then even Reb Shimon agrees. So here, when you're cutting off the skin, you're automatically doing an issur d'oraisa of separating the skin from the chicken. So how do you say that? That's the Gemara asks. The shakalei, right? He's maida that you are. I'm sorry, psik reisha v'lo yomus? Question mark. Right? He's maida by psik reisha v'lo yomus, and here it's for sure going to happen. So our answer is the shakalei b'barzi. No, where he's cutting it up into thin little pieces, right? So he's not doing it in the regular derech. Yeah, since he's not doing it in the regular derech, so it's a shinoi. So therefore, it's not an issue. Okay, so therefore, so that's the end of that sugi. A little bit confusing. And now it gets a little bit easier. Well, it's Erevin now. This is a little sneak preview into Erevin. Yeah. So where can you save it? So we said. Machlaik is whether it can go to a mavui that's open or a mavui that's not open. What is considered a mavui that's open, and what's considered a mavui that's not open? If it has 3 walls, and 2 lechis, meaning 2 pieces of wood at the entrance, meaning like you have a dead-end street, essentially, that has 3 walls, and at the end of the dead-end street, where it hits the rest of the streets, you have 2 lechis, 2. I guess they're parallel to each other, but on either side of the street, you have a pole, right? That is not mafulish. That's considered totally enclosed. But if it has 3 walls and only 1 piece of wood at the end, then that is a mavui that's considered open, since it's missing 1 piece of wood on the end. Therefore, it's not considered like like closed off from the rest of Rosh Hashanah. And you wouldn't be able to carry that, right? The Tarvaya will leave it to Rebbe Elazar, and both of them are going according to Rebbe Elazar. The Tanya, Hechsher Mavui. How do you make a mavui kosher? A mavui is basically a street, like a strictly private street. So how do you make an eruv? It's sort of like making an eruv in order to enable all the people to carry in this private street. Hishami says you need a lechi, which is perpendicular. Well, not perpendicular. What's the term? Vertical. Right? It's vertical. It goes up and down. And then a kaira is a beam that goes across. That's so Bishami says you need both. You need either one. Either a lechi or a kaira. Rabbi Elazar says you need 2 lechis. So saying both of them here are going according to Rabbi Elazar. Amalei Rabba, Gimel v'chitzas v'lechi yachim b'fulish karas lei. Do you really call, if it has 3 walls and 1 lechi, considered opened up to Rosh Hashanah? And not only that, but according to the Rabbanon, who disagree and say that it is mavui, why can't you save everything into there? It's a perfectly kosher eruv. There's nothing wrong with carrying over there. So how could that be? 2 mechitzas and 2 lechis, zem mavui she'eino mefulish. That's a mavui that's not open up. If it's 2 mechitzas and 1 lechi, So mavui I'm foolish, then that's a mavui foolish. So now the Gemara is downgrading it. Before it was 3 walls and 2 lechis, or 3 walls and 1 lechi. Now we're saying it's 2 walls and 2 lechis, 2 walls and 1 lechi. But we'll leave it to Rabbi Yehuda. And they're both going according to Rabbi Yehuda, who we had before. The Tanya, Yeser Halkein, Amar Rabbi Yehuda, if somebody has 2 houses on either side of a public street, right? Isa, right? He bought 2 lots, but instead of buying them next to each other, he bought one across the street from each other, right? And he's Isa lechi mikan v'lechi mikan, aikari mikan v'kari mikan. He could put a lechi on this house, and then across the street put a lechi on the other one, or a kaira, which goes horizontal, and on one side and a kaira on the other side. For nice and then you're allowed to carry in the Rosh Hashanah. So they said back to Rabbi Yehuda, you're not allowed to make an Eruv Rosh Hashanah like that. That's not enough to make an Eruv in a public property. So Abaye said to him, according to you too, you should be able to save Eichlun Mashkin, right? Meaning, if you hold that that's a proper Eruv, if you hold like Rabbi Yehuda, and that's a proper Eruv, either to put up 2 lechis or 2 kairas, so then you should be able to save Eichlin and Mashkin too, not just Svarim. Right? Again, we're thinking only now that you only can bring Svarim because it's a bizayon for Svarim to get burned. But if it's a proper Eruv, so why can't you bring food too? No. 3 mechitzas and 1 lechi is a mavui that is not open. But if it has 3 walls and nothing on the ends, then that's mavui hamafulish. That's a mavui that's opened up. And even according to Rabbi Eliezer, who holds you need 2, that's only for eating and drinking. And according to Rabbi Eliezer, if for a Sefer Torah, only 1 lechi is enough. Right? So therefore, what's interesting, what comes out is that according to Rabbi Eliezer, though, if you have nothing there, then you cannot. No, it's not. I mean, it's an Issa D'Oraisa, right? You're not allowed to be over an Issa D'Oraisa in order to save Svarim. Right? We're only allowing a D'Rabbanon at the most to save Sifrei Torah, which is a little bit, I'm not going to say it's strange, but it's a little rough. Right?
So what's the bottom line? You're allowed to take muktza. You're allowed to take a muktza to save Svarim and go outside and carry, but not really carry.
To say, right, to do a D'Rabbanon, you're allowed to do a D'Rabbanon to save Sifrei Torah. That's it. You're not allowed to be over in a D'Oraisa to save it.
The case with the food, with the case with the food and the food. What set up? What kind of Eruv is it? What, I don't understand.
It's not the Eruv that we. It's not the Eruv that we are talking about because there's no wires here. It's a different sugi. It's really just there for a hecker. It's just a matter of why you need the.
So you can't carry you can't eat potato chips with that Eruv. You can only if all the potato chips in your house are burning, then you could carry them outside.
Well, we're going to discuss that. That's the next Mishna with the food, but no, it's not. It's considered a full. It's considered for a mavui. It's considered since it's surrounded by 3 walls, and you're putting up the lechi and the kaira. That if you have a lechi and a kaira, then that's enough of a hecker to make sure that everybody stays inside the mavui, and then that would be kosher.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to carry out those. You're not allowed to take those chips out of the house if it's burning. Or if there's a fire on Shabbos.
If it's done properly, no. If it's done properly. Well, that's the machlokes tanoim, right? The Tanakama says you could save it to a mavui that's only ain't foolish. That meaning that it's properly done. And Bebeseira says even to a foolish, meaning even if it's not properly done.
But I can't use that. I can't use that regularly.
If it's done properly, then if it's done properly, then you could use it regularly.
So then what's the
that's a Gemara
I carry there when I'm saving it? The Vada I could carry from Chas lose all his possession. The Vada could use it. If he can eat a hot dog here, so why can't he save his possession?
No, but we're talking right. So we're talking about in a case where it's not. We're talking about in a case where it's not done properly. It's only done halfway. Either has a lechi or a kaira or 2, whatever. It doesn't have it properly. But in a chanami, you're right. if it would be done proper. That's exactly what is kasha. Why can't you just take all the food there? Elamai, it's talking about where it's not proper. But that, you're right. According to Bempis, well, no. So according to Tanakama, maybe what you're asking according to the Tanakama, yeah. Right, that's exactly what the Gemara is asking. Yeah, exactly what you're asking. That's why we have to downgrade it where it was not the proper lechis and koidas. Yeah, very good. Okay, Zok the Mishnah. Matzilin, don't worry, we'll get paid back tomorrow. It's going to be tomorrow's an easier daf. Tomorrow, the next two blot are Baruch Hashem. Gishmaka Shabbos Gemaras. Yeah, so Zog the Mishnah. Yeah, Matzilin Mazin Gimel Sudas, Haroy La'adam La'adam, Haroy La'behema La'behema. Right? Also, for those that are dog owners out there, right? So you're allowed to save 3 Sudas, what's Roy for a person, Haroy La'behema for a behema. Meaning you're clearly allowed to run in there and save food for the animals too. Right? Yeah, isn't that right? Not only the humans, but also the animals. Yeah. Now, but the thing is, does it mean three sudas for the animals? Pashtus, the animal is not. You can't bring a raya from this Mishnah that animals need to eat 3 sudas on Shabbos, right? It sounds like that from the Mishnah, right? It says matzilin mazin gimel sudas haroy la'adam la'adam haroy la'behema la'behema. Right? What's right for the person is the person. And the behemoth gets biscuits, I guess, 3, like a Mishna biscuits. But that's not, obviously, that's not the pshat. Right? That means, since the pasha pshat is that since you have to feed your animals before you feed yourself, so then Mamela, you got to feed the animal even before Shalosh Shudas.
You're reading the Mishnah as 3 meals for the person and for the animal, or it's just 3 meals? Yeah. Because that's what gets you through the day, and then Shabbos is over.
No, right, but that's what you're allowed to save, but you have to save for your animal too. Right? Animal doesn't have to share your food. You could take out more food for the animal. Yeah? So Ketzad, what's the case? Nafla deleka b'leila Shabbos. Let's say the fire break out on Shabbos, matzilin mazin gimel sudas. You save the meal 3 sudas. B'shachris matzilin mazin beis sudas. If the fire happens in the morning, you save 2 sudas because you don't need 3. The mincha mazin sudachas. Yosi, he disagrees. Laila matzilin mazin shalish sudas. You could always save 3 sudas. Right?
Did the mitzvah change if people don't eat shalosh sudas? Or is it early Shabbos?
I hear. Well, the Gemara is actually going to discuss that a little bit. The Gemara is actually going to discuss that. But, but what's Pshan Rav Yosi? Rav Yosi holds that 3 meals is the normal thing that you're allowed to save, right?
Rav Aaron, you're muted.
I'm saying Tisha B'Av Sunday, so I would only be able to save some cottage cheese for that shalosh. You could save a whole roast beef, that's what you eat. That's what you eat that shalosh.
But that was my whole shaila. If Shabbos is over 4:30. You finish your suda at 2:30. You have a rack of ribs that's aging. Here's Yosi. Oh, he's not here. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, he's eating shalosh, a rack of ribs. You know what I mean?
You had me at rack of ribs, Peretz, no?
Yep. But anyway, so Rav Yosi's shita is, Rav Yosi's shot is that since 3 of these sudas considered like earmarks for Shabbos, even if you didn't eat it, even if you already ate your suda, you're still allowed to get 3. That's Pshan Rav Yosi. So the Mishnah Michni be'atera katarach natzil tfei.
Well, hold on, Tiago. So you have shalosh time, and now you could go save another 3 sudas.
According to Rabbi Yosi, yes, because he considers 3 sudas considered yours from before Shabbos. It's considered like earmarked for you.
But you already ate it.
No, but you still have the ability to take 3 sudas. Yeah. Meaning, since everybody's entitled to take their 3 sudas, it's sort of like unemployment, right? You're entitled to take unemployment even if you're making more money than you made in your salary. This is a Corona, Shiloh. We haven't brought something up for Corona, right? Right? Half these people are making more money on unemployment than not. You take it. No, Shine. Exactly what Rabbi Yosi is saying. You're entitled to 3 meals. Finish. So you take it. Or the giveaways, right? Are you allowed to go to the giveaway in Lawrence and the giveaway in Paragway and here and there? You're entitled, not entitled. Whatever. That's a different subject for a different time. Okay. Talking about it. So anyways, Michti Ve'Tera Katarah. He's doing it beheter, meaning there's an eruv, right? Rabban, this is sort of what he's saying. Not till tvei, he saved more, right? You're sitting eating your potato chips eating potato chips a whole Shabbos in the street. So why can't I go out in and out of the house? So a very interesting gezerah. So since a person is very concerned about his money, if we're going to allow him to go in and out, he's going to sort of get flustered. And he's going to say, I can't schlep all this stuff out. And then he's just going to take some water and put out the fire. So therefore, because of this, a guy has to watch his house burn down on Shabbos. Right? That's a gezerah derabanan, because we're afraid that if we're going to allow you to take a lot of stuff, therefore, you're going to end up putting out the fire. So therefore, you're not even allowed to save the things from your house on Shabbos. Even if there is an eruv, and it's a wild gezerah.
So just 3 meals worth of food.
Just 3 meals worth of food, and if you have svarim, tefillin, whatever it is, and that's it.
So Tsiaka, when my smoker went up in flames, wasn't so pashut that I wasn't allowed to put it out. I had a brisket on there.
I don't remember what happened.
It's Friday night. I turned up the smoker, right? But I have it on a Shabbos clock. I turned it up to high. The thing caught fire. And I wasn't sure if I'm allowed to put it out. The whole thing was on fire.
Right.
Well, I had a roast on there for Shabbos. So maybe I was allowed to save it.
You could save the roast, but you can't put out the fire.
Fire.
I'm not saying you're goofing the gezerah, parrots. You see, you save your roast. They're afraid we're going to let you save the roast. You're going to put out the fire. That's exactly it.
But that's how you save the roast.
That's the problem. That's exactly what they said. So no saving the roast. There you go. Your mama's proved it. Anyway, so now again, nowadays we all know, because we live in such close proximity to each other. So you are allowed to call. I mean, this is going to be negated later on, but you are allowed to call the fire department. Whether you're allowed to put it out or not, that's not pashut. Even bisman hazeh. But to call the fire department, that you're allowed to do. Maybe if somebody has a barrel of wine on his roof and it got a hole in it, so you can bring another kli and put it under there. As long as he doesn't bring another kli, right? To how do you call it? To catch it, meaning it's basically the wine is dripping off the roof. So you're allowed to catch it when it comes off the roof. But you can't go put another kli to catch it as it spills out of the barrel. Right? Right? Or put another kli there and to attach it. Right? Like sort of so that it falls right into the kli. Hasam my gzeira. What's the gzeira there? Right? Meaning, why can't you just put a kli under there and to catch it? No, they're the same thing. We're worried that we're gonna allow you to catch it like that. Then we're afraid you're gonna go run and get a kli from Rishus HaRabban. So therefore, we tell you can't do that, right? So you can only put a kli under it, right? You can only put a kli as it drips off the roof. You cannot go up to the roof and put a kli under it directly. Fine.
Rabbi, quick question. If you let something catch on fire, there's always a risk that it's just going to spread and people's lives are in danger.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so that's why when you live in close proximity, if you think that somebody's life is in danger, 100% you put it out. 100% you put it out. But the question is if you're in a place where everybody's out of the houses. Let's say everybody saw the fire. There's no life danger at all, right? The question is, can you put it out yourself because the guy are going to get upset or not? That part is not so simple. To call the fire department, definitely. But to put it out...
By the time you call the fire department, the house is engulfed, no?
What are you saying?
By the time you call the fire department, the house is engulfed.
That could be. Yeah, that
Yeah,
could
but
be.
Harold, you're upstate, you're in a bungalow, and there's nobody within 100 feet of your bungalow, and the thing is on fire.
What about Shalom Bias? No? I don't think your wife's not going to be so happy.
Harold, I was about to ask that. What about Shalom Bias? Because I had them screaming at me. Wow.
Well, they do. You know, the place is interesting. The place can say that as long as there's electric wires going from one house to the next, even if you're far away, they're afraid that it can catch through electric wires. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know.
No, that's not true.
But you're right. But if it's
No, but if the electric wire does fall down, the house burns. The electric wire falls down. Now you have a live wire. No.
No, you're right. But if the slightest chance of loss of life, then 100% you put it right out. Yeah, we're assuming that everybody got out here. Okay, so it's something more Gufa.
I guess if Shalom Bias gets that bad, it becomes a suffix sakonis defoshes.
Yeah. Gufa, yeah. Nishbeloi chavetz beroish kagoy. So we said if a chavetz of yours breaks on the top of your roof, maybe kli maniach tachtea, you're allowed to put a kli under it, meaning on the ground, not on the roof. Ubevat shelo yavi kli acher v'yiplik. You can't bring another kli to catch it. Kli acher v'yitzaref, or a kli acher and combine it right by the edge of the roof. There's namalei orchin. Oh, so now here we go. For those of us that like to pull scams, this Gemara is for you. Okay. There's namalei orchin, but let's say all of a sudden guests show up to your house. You forgot that they're coming, and you're not going to have enough wine to serve them. Maybe kliacher v'koyle kliacher mitzarev. Then you are allowed to put the kli there, right? Again, because if orchim are coming, this is the first time I think we've had it where the halacha starts changing because of orchim, right? So you're allowed to do what we said is normally also, for orchim you're allowed to do it. Yeah. Again, I'll repeat. There's not only orchim, maybe kli acher v'koyle kliacher mitzarev. And don't first catch it and say, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to first catch it and then call my neighbor to come over, right? That's just a scam. It has to be that the guests show up, not that you save it and then say, oh, let me go invite some guests.
So they're telling us there's a right way to scam and there's a wrong way to scam.
Exactly right.
Okay.
Yes. There's a reason why this Yiddish cup, from the Gemaras. They're saying you got to first invite them and then, right? What you do is, if you're smart, you quickly send one of the kids to the neighbor and say, tell them to come over for lunch. No question, just tell them to come on over. You see them coming over, you say, oh, the neighbor's coming, I got to save the wine, and then we allow it. But you can't save the wine and then send them to invite the neighbors. And you're not allowed to do harama. You're not allowed to do a scam. The name of Yosi says you are allowed to do harama, which means that you can do this. You could save it and then, or call the orchim and then meaning you can pull the scam. Yeah. Now we go on to a different type of scam. Let's say they're having the same machlokes that Rabbi Elazar and Yeshua are having. The Tanya, now there's halacha that you are not allowed to shecht a mother and a child on the same day, not a mother, meaning animals. A mother cow and a calf, because again it's another way that we see that the Torah cares about animals. You're not allowed to shecht the mother and the son on the same day. No slaughtering the mother and the son on the same day, right? But what happens if they both fall into a pit? So you can only save one, because one of them is for sure muktza, right? It's talking about Yom Tov, obviously, when you're allowed to shecht. Shabbos, they're both muktza, right? So it's Yom Tov. So can you save both? How are you going to pull a scam to save both? So here, the Tanya, I says, but
we're not worried if they fell into a pit that they have a mum.
Oh, so obviously this is assuming that there's no mum there. It could be they didn't fall in there. It could be you just forgot to take them out. Well, I guess it says naflu. So yes, I guess the assumption is that there's no mum. The Tanya, I says espanoish naflu lebar. They both fell into a bar. Rabbi Elazar, I'm in Milas Harishon, Amanas l'Shaycha. You take out the first one, and you say, oh, the reason why I'm taking out the first one is because I want to shecht it. Vasheni, Oisolai Parnasa b'Mekaymoi, and the second one you have to give it Parnasa in its place. I mean, keep feeding it until after Yom Tov, then you'll get it out of there. B'Shvil Shalei Yomas, you keep feeding it so it doesn't die. Rabbi Yeshua, I'm in Milas Harishon. He says you can take out the first one, Amanas l'Shaycha, on that because you're going to shecht it. Ve'ena Shaycha, and you decide, oh, I don't like this animal. Umayrim, and then you do harama, you do a trick. Umaylas Hasheni, and then you take out the second one. So, maybe I like the second one. Now you have them both out. Now you can decide which one you do. So that's clearly a harama. Right? You're doing a trick. So we're saying that the same machlokes between Rabbi Shua and Rabbi Elazar is the same machlokes that we're having with calling over guests to save the wine. So the Gemara says, maybe Rabbi Elazar says the reason why you can't do the trick is because you have an easy way out. Just keep feeding the animal, take care of it till after Yom Tov, and then you'll save it, right? What's the rush to save this second animal on Yom Tov? But here, if you're not going to do this harama, this trick, you're going to lose all your wine. So therefore, maybe Rabbi Eliezer would agree here you could do a trick. Where you can't, so then you can't, right? Then meaning then there's no problem with harama. Maybe the reason why Rabbi Shua there says you could take it out of you could do the trick to get them both out of the hole. That's because the tzar b'alechayim. But maybe when there's no tzar b'alechayim, he would hold that you're not allowed to do a trick. So therefore, we have no proof what either one would hold in either case about doing harama. But whatever it is, you do see that harama is allowed in certain situations, right? Yeah. Fine. So Tana Rabbana on Hitzel Pas Nikia. Here's an interesting thing. So let's say you went into the house and you took out some food. You just ran in the kitchen, took out some food, right? And of course, Parrot's wife says, you brought out that food. That's the food you brought out, right? Go back in there and get more food, right? So the question is that food better or worse? So the Gemara says, Hitzel Pas Nikia. Let's say you saved good, clean pas, meaning a high quality bread. Ein matzel pas hadra. You're not allowed to go back in there to save pas hadra because you already got good bread. Pas hadra, but if you took out bad bread, matzel pas nikia, you're allowed to go back in to get pas nikia because you're very not happy. You're very unhappy with the stuff that you saved. So covered Shabbos, you're going to get better stuff.
So you go in and you grab the white bread, because that's what you think it is. And then you get yelled at because you didn't take out the whole wheat bread.
What?
Who
at least you're not getting yelled at that you started the fire.
Who decides what's good and what's bad?
I guess you.
Generally like whole wheat.
I don't know. Right?
This is part of your 3 meals?
Yeah, you saved 3 meals of junk bread. Then you say, won't say this stuff is junk. I got much better stuff in there, so you're allowed to go in there and get it.
And there's no harama. We're not worried about harama in that I'm going to go take 3 meals worth and then say, oh, I think I can have better in there, so let me go take better. Since we're on the topic of harama,
so maybe you could do that harama. Maybe you could. Yeah, but you'd have to find somebody that likes the other bread better, no? Yeah.
Aaron. What if the guy brings the wrong mustard? You go get the different mustard.
Kirsch only brings one kind of mustard.
I didn't say a name.
That's what. Well, listen, but Rashi, Rashi does say.
No.
Rashi does say it's not harama because you like that bread better. So he's saying it's not even harama. So it sounds like he's allowing some harama in there. Okay, so let's see weiter. Again, Torah hitzel pas nikia ein matzel pas hadra. You're not allowed to save the bad bread. Pas hadra matzel pas nikia. Umatzilim b'yom kippur l'Shabbos. If you're allowed to save from Yom Kippur the Shabbos, if the fire falls out on Yom Kippur, you're allowed to save it for Shabbos. But you can't save from Shabbos to Yom Kippur. Meaning if Yom Kippur is on a Sunday, right? Because you're not eating it till Sunday night anyway, so there's no reason to work on Shabbos to get it.
This must be before they had Yom Kippur on Friday.
What?
This is when they had that.
I guess
Yom Kippur can fall out on Friday, right?
Correct. And of course, it goes without saying that you're not allowed to save from Shabbos to Yom Tov, because Yom Tov you can cook. But loy Shabbos to Shabbos haba, not from Shabbos to for the next Shabbos either, right? That's an interesting halacha. You're not allowed to save from one Shabbos to another Shabbos, even though they both have equal kedusha, right? So let's just do one more. Torah Rabbanan shokach pas b'tanur. So we know the halacha is midrabanan. When you have the way they made bread is they slapped it like pitas. They slapped it on the wall of the oven, right? So there's a gezerah. it's a weekday activity to take the bread off on Shabbos, even though it's fully baked and everything, right? Right? So you're not allowed to do that. So talking about a shokach pasta tanner. Let's say you forgot your bread in the oven. You say, another shalom bayis. The wife said, take the bread out of the oven. And of course, you forgot to take the bread out of the oven, right? So now you're talking serious shalom bayis. And now it became Shabbos already. Matzilin mazon shalosh sudas. You're allowed to save enough bread for 3 sudas. And then you could go tell others, come, everybody come save bread. And when you take it down, don't take it down with the special piece to take down the bread. Only with a knife, because you have to do it differently. Right? So it's not true. You're not allowed to do any malacha. That comes to exclude blowing a shofar and taking down the bread. That's a chachma, not a malacha. So therefore it's allowed. Right? So why shouldn't you be allowed? So we say no. Whatever, however different you could do it than the regular weekday. So it looks like it's not a regular weekday activity. So therefore we're going to do that, even though really it's not considered a malacha. It's considered a chachma to take the bread off. Okay, we'll stop here. Fine. All right. Have yourselves a good one. Parrots, you coming from Iriv? All right.
Coming right now. I'm just transferring this.
I'm coming right now.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.